Hello, everybody. This is Anthony Beyond from Mission Star Podcast, and this is another episode of the Conover. Now, there's been some delay as far as like when this particular episode is gonna go up, but finally, after what I feel like years or eons, we are finally gonna talk about Babscon. Cause damn it, we need to talk about just everything we've been to. So, with me to talk about everything Babscon is none other than Jesse.
Hello.
And one thing to note, so at the time as we're recording this, two things happening. One, it is Friday the 13th. And second, we're recording on Discord. We're going to see how that goes. If the audio quality becomes crappy at any given point, you know why. Now, with that being said, so Babscon was about, let's see, about a good 3 weeks ago. And I was there. You were there, Jesse. Ramen was there. And I want to say Jace. I think went. I can't remember. If I didn't see him, but said he went. But yeah, we attended the convention. We checked it out. One of the things that because one of the things that's different this year, I think. Speaking on both sides, I came as part of the press. You were actually staffing this year.
I did staff, yes.
So, so the interesting thing for me is that this year, I felt like the attendance it didn't change per se, but the convention itself got better overall. Is that kind of what you're like? What was your kind of gut feeling from going to this past year's Babscon as staff?
I'm not sure as whether the attendance might have been lower or the enthusiasm might have been lower, but it did feel as energetic as it was the year prior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, well, maybe it's the old man in me just talking, but like for me, like it
You
felt,
old man.
it felt good. Like it felt like it was at a pretty good like sizable attendance to where it wasn't too crowded. There's plenty of room to walk around, but at the same time, you have a lot of chill people. Um, and I guess I get you occasionally one or two like stupid drunks, but like nothing too bad really. Actually, honestly, um, one of the things for me, I think stood out to me with Babscon, and this is something that they did really well last year. Um, was that the panels that Babscon hosts. Every panel they have hosted since going to the convention last year as well, has always been great. Um, I, well, last year I didn't go to that many main events, but this year I did. I did go check out some of the main events, some of the main event panels. All of them were great. I loved them. My favorite thus far was the Lauren Faust panel. That was awesome. That was really, really, really cool. Um, and to me, that was just like because the way it was set up. For those who are wondering, like how was the panel set up? So the panel was set up basically to where it was like what was that show called? Behind the studio or something like that. There was basically it was kind of they had a moderator. Actually the owner of Babscon came out and she conducted interviews or questions with Lauren Faust, and then just and these questions were really good. Like there were stuff I didn't even know about Lauren Faust that she kind of came out and just like talked about, and I was like, wow. Um, and then she proceeded to have the Q&A happen afterwards. Um, brilliant, brilliant. Everything about that entire panel was awesome, awesome stuff. Um, but for me, it was panels. Jesse, what was the thing that stood out? I know you were staffing, but what was the point out to one or two things that was like one of the things you love about Babscon, or yeah, for them, or like for that matter.
I was never a big fan for especially main events. I mostly, sorry, meandered around some of the smaller panels of people I follow throughout the internet. So it was fun seeing, listening to them, and meeting them actually.
What was some of the things that you uh Sorry, I got a piece of food in my mouth. Um, what were some of the smaller panels you checked that out?
There was a analyst panel I got to sit in, and it was just for the host from the analyst community, that's kind of shooting the breeze with with Q&A the entire hour. It was kind of fun listening to them bounce off each other.
Nice, nice.
Another one was a shipping panel. Normally I would not attend this, but I saw who the host was, and I had to go in there and listen to him just kind of kind of tease and make fun and enlighten the subject matter.
So, out of curiosity, what conversations were being held in the shipping panel?
Oh, it's just making light of why we ship this and that, and it's showing, he's showcasing, he's like, ships that people love and covet, and then he's showing ships that earned booze outright.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like as a brony, like there has to be at least one idea of what a perfect ship would be. Between the cast or the characters. Um, and I have those myself, but that's funny. That's awesome. Was there any particular other panels that you checked out as well when you were there, or any particular ones that like kind of stood out to you more than the others?
Mm, no, none that sticks out in my mind. Aside from there was a panel I wish I got, so it was the main event that talked about some. I think you were talking to some of the writers or the production staff for the show. I
Ah,
forget who it was,
was it
and I wish I was there to listen to it.
right? Right. The only I think I can think of because I attended it was the what was the art and animation of MLP. I think it might have been the one where they had like some of the art directors or some of the artists from the show talk about it. Um, but maybe something different. But that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, man. I cannot commend Babscon for their panels. They're the best, and the one of the best things about them. Um, one of the things that I think Babscon for me, uh, now here's the thing. Now I asked this question to many others who are on the podcast. It's like, what is the temperature of the room? In the sense of like, how was the atmosphere? And I can honestly say the atmosphere, at least when it comes to the attendance side, it was fine. It was great. Yeah, everybody was having fun. Like I didn't feel like there was no talk or no issue really. The only thing that, and I'll say this because I understand, and as a brony, I can see it why too. Like in general, like the people, the con attendees, the bronies they're some, not all of them, but like they're they're nice but awkward. They mean well, but
Um,
but they're awkward.
I think I'm one of them.
Yeah, so like it's nothing against any brony really. It's just some of them are just it's just kind of a something that I just find just interesting. And I get it. But at the same time, there were some awkward moments where me and a few other times where I was just on Discord on that Saturday of that weekend. Uh, yeah, there was definitely some awkward moments between me and a few others. No fault of my own, just putting it out there. Um, but aside from that, though, I felt like everybody had fun. Like what was on your side? On a staff side, what was your guys' general feeling when the convention was going on?
Um, day one, actually day zero, because I show up in time for that one to help with the set vendor hall. Initially, it felt like a nightmare, only
Mm.
because the hotel itself was just getting done with some renovations, and we were hoping to get access to the vendor halls at a particular time, and unfortunately, we didn't get until like 2 hours later.
Oh, right, that's right. That's the one thing you bring up a good point. Um, so one of the things that I find very interesting the fact that Babscon was still being held at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in San Francisco, but what was different though is that the there was still construction going on in the hotel building.
Yeah, the atrium level where there was a restaurant was like not finished either, so there
hmm
was a kind of a loss there.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about that is the fact that what was more impressive to me, really, honestly, is that the fact that Babscon was able to utilize that space that they were given and still produce a great con experience, even with the noise and with the construction that was still being done in the hotel building. But yeah, so going back to what you were saying though, like so for the first day zero, you guys were panicking because you weren't sure you get in the dealers
Well,
hall.
it wasn't panic. It was not panicking. It was just frustration because we have dealers and artists coming there with all their stuff, and everyone's kind of distributed between not only the hotel the con's being held at, but at two other hotels due to uh, what was it, reserved space and number of attendees.
Mm,
And some of them had to travel a couple blocks just to get in, and they just didn't want to travel back and forth with all their stuff.
gotcha. Okay, I see. Um,
But
okay.
it's really no fault of the con. It's just the ET we were given by the hotel was kind of off.
No,
But
no,
other than that, the hotel has been very accommodating.
yeah, I completely under.
And
I was gonna say I completely
all the renovations that they uh, all the renovations that they did was actually to the betterment of the hotel and also overall experience. It was much brighter.
Yeah, and I completely understand because the maybe there was more construction happening this time around, or maybe it was the same amount of construction that was happening as it was for this con. But I remember this past year AOD moved to Santa Clara because they could not do their convention in the Hype because of the construction. Now, whether that's the case because of whether that is the case because of that there was more construction happening within the building, they couldn't do it, or maybe it was the same as Babscon. Who knows? Who knows? Um, but I'm still rather impressed the fact that you guys still able to make it work with the span of that amount of space and still have construction happening and still deliver a great convention experience, in my opinion. Um, one of the other things that I was as I was enjoying the weekend at Babscon. Um, so my this is where my gripes will come in, and this is something that me and Ramen kind of saw firsthand. So the game room, I checked out the arcade room in Babscon. It was just you're running a real game room. You got your consoles. You got the cool like driving car simulator setup that was pretty awesome. And then you had a cabinet, a custom arcade cabinet for Fighting Its Magic, and then on the side you got a bunch of Wii U consoles for Smash. Now, two tournaments were happening at the same time, and they were organizing one for Smash and one for Fighting Its Magic. The only problem is that Fighting Its Magic was running off of one cabinet, only one setup, and there was about a good number of people who signed up, and it took a lot longer than it should. Well, I mean, for obvious reasons. Obviously, going off of one setup is not the most ideal thing to do. I get the cool arcade classic feel of fighting somebody side by side. But one of the things that and it must be maybe it's not the TO's fault, but like miscommunication between the TOs. The guy was trying to go off of his phone and he couldn't connect to the internet. He was not keeping track of who was losing, who was winning. He was asking me and a bunch of others like, "Did you beat this person, such and such?" He basically was not prepared. I felt like this was his first time like organizing a tournament, and he and the other TO, because they were sharing like the same technology, The Smash tournament was going fine, but like the Finest Magic one went pretty badly. So Ramen came in, saved the day, and helped out, and yeah, basically just saved everything in terms of what was left of the tournament. So that's kind of one of my few gripes that I would take away, is the fact just like tournament wise, like man, it was not, it was a shit show, for to say the least. And speaking of which, like since you were staff, I mean, like what were some of the things that people were kind of coming up to you guys, or what was the thing that was, what were the gripes that people were saying about the con?
Ugh. I don't know. I mostly kind of had door duty. I most of my interactions happened with the staff as opposed to the actual con attendees. And like I said, a lot of the con staffers kind of felt like they're pulling their hair out because there's a lot that needs to be done, and we're getting late and blah 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 blah. So
Mm-hmm.
they felt like they did a good job despite all these setbacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Um, I that was my only gripe, honestly, or one of my only few gripes, honestly, out of the con. Just and I've written in my report, like, if you're gonna run a tournament, be prepared in all fronts. Have a paper ready to write down names, or have like your own laptop or something, because stuff may or may not happen. But aside from that, average or real mill game room is fine. It's whatever. I'm not gonna really blame him for anything for that. Aside from that, though, I checked out the art gallery that they held there. They held it last 2 years when it was set up there at Babscon. And it was cool because me and my friend were kind of going through, and as artists, like we were kind of going through. It's like, oh, this is awesome. So we're just basking in like the creatively art pieces that were being held in the art gallery. And the cool thing about the art gallery is like, you can, what was it? I won't say bid for them, but like, yeah, you could bid for them. But I'm sure I'm not sure the process of, was it to bid at like a certain time and place, or right there in the art gallery. But it was cool. No, it was a lot of awesome stuff. I definitely, one of the things I love about the Brony community is the fact that they produce so much awesome creative stuff from the show, or fan stuff of the show, that it kind of brings out like different art styles. Um, but yeah, no, it was great. No, I enjoyed it. Do you happen to check out the art gallery by any chance? If you
I was kind of like sitting oh, the art gallery.
Yeah,
No, I didn't get a chance to see that.
gotcha. Okay. Um,
Actually, there's another thing I wish I stood in for, and that would be the auction. Like, that's always fun to listen to.
so tell me about the
The
auction.
charity auction.
Yeah, tell me. I didn't attend
I,
that.
I, I didn't attend it either. I did attend it back in the Quest GLA, and that was fun just listening to people just go on and on and listen to the bid wars. But again,
Yes.
I was disappointed I didn't get a chance to go to Babscon.
Gotcha. Okay. I forgot the fact that it's pretty fun when it comes to charity bids, because like it gets crazy high. um. Okay, that's awesome. Overall, I think the art gallery was great. I think it was pretty awesome. Um, Moving along in the BabsCon convention area. So, I forgot to mention. So, okay. Now, Jesse, was this your first time cosplaying? Out of curiosity.
Yes, it was. Actually, no, it wasn't. I did cosplay I kind of cosplayed at ALA as the muscle to Jeremy's Super Mario.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah, but I didn't really do much. This one's a little bit more extensive. I put a
Mm-hmm.
little more work into it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So for those who don't know, Jesse cosplayed as Spike from My Little Pony. Um, and my question to you was, one, how was that like? And two, how many rarities did you look at?
The first part, I am not using spray on hair color again.
What
That's a nightmare. The-
was it a pain just to spray it on your head or?
it was difficult, but it's not as bad as it just flaking off everywhere and turning everything I touch green. It took me
Oh.
3 days to get that out of my hair.
Oh wow, gotcha,
But
gotcha.
so the worst part for me is that I tried to do it to my goatee,
Hmm.
and it just I couldn't get it to work, so I ended up just chopping it all off,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
I hated it so much.
Is your face cold now?
Oh no, it's growing back.
Oh really? No way. Seriously?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah, no, yeah, yeah, it grows fast. So,
Oh damn, that's
but
cool.
for that first week of just being bare and super scratchy, it's just like, ah, it sucks.
Oh wow, interesting. Yeah, welcome to being a cosplayer. This is what we deal with
Uh,
every other day when we cosplay. um,
as for rarities, not many except for the plushie I had in my laptop bag.
right, right. You're forever
Yeah.
plushy waifu. That's awesome. That's cool. No, it was fun seeing you in cosplay for the first time. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. So we did pose together. I remember one person like asked us to pose. So
Yep. And that was the only picture I had taken of me in that outfit.
yep, that photo will be forever lost or somewhere on the internet. I don't know.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the internet. Yeah, whoever took that picture, please share it with us.
Yeah, that'd be great. If you're listening to the podcast and you took that picture, please do like send it to us somehow. Uh, Twitter or whatnot. Yeah, that's cool. No, that's awesome. I'm always interested to hear, people who cosplay for the first time and how their experience goes. Um, so, uh, so one of the things that I really think is really cool, and it's one of the strong suits of Babscon is the details hall, because it's not made up of like usually at anime conventions, like you have the artist alley and you get a dealers hall. Dealers hall is usually made up of a lot of companies or small companies that would sell figurines or the same thing or stuff from Japan basically. Here the dealers hall was filled with nothing but everything fan made, everything made from their two hands of like crafts and art stuff, or just stuff that are really really cool. Um,
Yeah, custom made stuff. That's why I like going to cons, is to find the custom made stuff.
yeah. So and this so one of the things for me this year is like there's a lot of stuff I wanted to buy at Babscon this year. I ended up buying what was it? I ended up buying like a few posters and a mouse pad with Fluttershy on it. Which I'm using right now, by the way. But there was some really cool stuff there. Like I am so bummed that the guy, whoever was the one selling like this these like metal cups or these metal gauntlets of like these cups that had like the symbols on it of the main six and other symbols as well. Um,
The
I
coins or were they coins?
no, they were like metal cups like kind of like
Oh,
medieval.
silver slinger,
Yeah,
silver slinger stuff.
yeah, man, I was so bummed that it wasn't there on Sunday when I went to check it out. Because I
Ah,
wanted to get one because I was like, oh my god, it's so cool. I can relive the Thor moments, just like slam it down. It's like another. um, but yeah, there were so many stuff, and again, the tattoo artist was back again doing tattoos, which I still think is crazy and awesome at the same time. Um, there was just a lot of good stuff. I think one of the cool things, like in the corner, where I got my posters from, this guy had a giant rug. No, it wasn't a rug. It was like a giant towel, of Twilight Sparkle dressed up as Magician Girl from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
a lot of his prints.
same here. It's yeah, I saw that. I was like, man. I told my friend that, and my friend like jetted to the dealer's hall right away. He was like totally tripping out. It's like, oh
Yeah,
my god. So
and they had what was it, Rainbow Dash dressed up as Asuna from Evangelion.
yeah, I saw that too. So there was a lot of good stuff there. Any particular things that stood out to you that you bought or wanted to buy at the dealer's hall?
Uh, Let me think. Well, one thing I bought actually has nothing to do with ponies. It was the funniest and stupidest thing I ever got, and that was the crochet flail.
Oh, that's right. That's the thing you got. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
That is really cool. That was really cool.
Yes, and I actually went ahead and got it piece bonded as a joke. It's still piece bonded.
That's hilarious. I saw was it you posted that picture on Instagram. You told me later on. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. What was the reaction like at the peace bonding area?
Oh, they laughed and said, "Yeah, we kind of have to piece bond it," but they were still laughing their asses off.
Nice.
I had to show it to everybody, including to the vendor that I got it from.
That's great. That's awesome. Those are the moments where just like makes the convention like the one of the best or like just an enjoyable
Hmm.
moment. That's awesome. Yeah, I was laughing too, man. That was great. Was there anything else that you wanted to buy or was eyeing at the dealer's hall?
Uh, there's stuff from Silver Slinger's table I wanted to see with all the engraving stuff. Other than that, there was I thought about getting a handbag with a custom print on it, but eh, it's there's just so many things I wanted to get. Was like, do I really need it or do I just want it?
Yeah, I mean like that's the what's the word I'm looking for? Like that is a question that we ask ourselves when we go to these conventions. It's like, do I really want it or do I really need it? Is it really something in my
But
life? You know, it's like we can ask that, but then at the end of the day, we're gonna buy it anyways. And
yeah, that things I did get a few prints from here and there, including an artist that I met back in Equestria, LA. That I'm a huge fan of his art. I think I shared it to you last time.
mm-hmm. That
One print he had was of Applejack as a Jedi, complete with a green lightsaber.
oh nice, nice.
And it's
Oh,
not Anther. It's not Anther. It's just still a pony, and they're wielding it via the Force.
that's sick. That is very very sick. Um,
Other than that, I got like a crap ton of laser cut, art of ponies with magnets on the back.
sick, sick. Speaking of Jedi's, the cosplays at Babscon were awesome. A
Yes.
lot of creative stuff, a lot of awesome stuff. Um, there were actually a group of cosplayers who were dressed up as Jedi's, but the main six,
Yep.
which was really cool.
Hmm.
It was really really awesome. Um, Majority of the cosplays at Babscon were really cool. The Jedi's were pretty awesome. Um, I think oh man, there was a really one of the first pictures I took. There was a really good cosplay of what was his name? Called King Sombra, just decked out in like this armor plate cosplay he had on. He had great contacts. His costume was great. Oh, it was wow. I was very very impressed. A lot with the other cosplays as well. So like but that's the other thing I love about BabsCon and just I guess in the Brony community is the fact that a lot of like interpretation of what the character would look like is up to the
Hmm.
person and the creativity really comes out when it comes to, you know, how people would perceive a character versus, you know, how another person perceives it. So that was really cool, really cool.
And you had to have seen that Warhammer 40K Marine.
Yes, he returned. He didn't enter though this time around. He just came back and just like, hey, I'm here. um, what was like? What any particular cosplay that stood out to you at Babscon?
Uh, let's see. The oh, again, the 40K Marine always stands out. That's going to be a given. But the Jedi cosplayers was also pretty great too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to recall what other cosplays I saw. Oh, I saw a changeling Applejack. Fully decked out with,
Oh,
you know,
right. That's right. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. That was sick.
but again, I think the cosplay is was I say quite light compared to the year prior. Oh wait, there's one I remember. Um, Vinyl Scratch as a dressed up for a sophisticated concert, but still just pulling off the old raver girl.
I did I
I think I
see?
got a picture of that on there somewhere.
I think you did. I need to go back and check. It's on our photo gallery if you haven't checked already on our website. Just plugging stuff there. Um, yeah, like again, a lot of awesome cosplays. I actually recorded the whole thing and attended the cosplay contest. Again, a lot of creativity, a lot of awesome cosplays. I will say though, there is one. Like obviously when it comes to the conventions and bronies, like you're always gonna have a cringe-worthy moment, regardless. This guy, man, and I have to give credit where credit's due for the balls to do it, but at the same time, like having the judges like actually, you know, have him the best villain. So for those who don't know, this year at Babscon, the cosplay contest was held, and there were two sets of judges. Like three of them was the artists from the show, and then three of them were special guests that were, you know, part of the community on each side, and they would like, you know, judge each cosplay. They had best villain, best hero, best group, you know, and so on. So they had the best villains come out, and, you know, you had actually a couple of Discords actually come up there, like, and I was like surprised. I thought it was like the only other Discord, but apparently there was a few other wars. Ironically, you know, some of them were maids, which, you know, that was cool. Um, but this one guy come out, and he's in this kind of military purple outfit, like he has a he's stomping onto the center of the stage, and he's in deck purple, and it's a reference to the whole equal arc of MLP. I have I need to catch up on MLP stuff and watch the series again, but I know it was that arc where they're like the equal thing. Bronies would know. You know, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
That should be the season 5 premiere then.
Yes.
So, so she's cosplay as Starlight Glimmer.
I believe. Well, it was a guy. It was a guy who was like in a purple military outfit, but like he had an armband of the equal sign on his right shoulder or left.
Did he have a staff with a fork at the end of it, like a PCV?
No, it was just straight.
Okay.
It was just straight up, just like like it was like straight up kind of how like a Nazi Germany soldier would look like.
Yeah.
Except he was in purple and he had the armband. So this guy.
Okay, you know, I can visualize that. Yeah.
So this guy went up, had the he had the audacity to go up on stage in front of everybody, and this is a packed house, and like literally raise his right hand up, and I was like, what the what is going on? Literally, he just threw up the Hitler sign, and like everybody was just like shocked, like, what did that just happen? But then like the funny thing is like okay, first off, the middle judge and one of the three judges that were from the show for the artists from the show. Um,
Uh-huh.
but one of them, she's like, I was like, I'm Jewish, and it's like, oh fuck. But then like the other person's like, no, no. See, the way to do it is you use both arms, and then because it's the equal thing. So he just like turned around, did it again, but it's both arms this time around, and then walked off. And like, man, that was like, I was tripping. Ramen next thing was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, did that really happen? But ironically, the same guy who did that won best villain.
Nice.
So I was like, you know what? I kind of respect that. For as ballsy as the guy did, at the very least, like the judges were like respect the fact like, okay, if any of those contestants were the most villain, this guy went above and beyond. So it was cringeworthy, it was shocking, and it was at the same time like I kind of respect that. So
That's an impression.
yeah, he did. But yeah, yeah, other than that though, man, what else did I check out? So food wise, okay, so here's the thing I found out, and it wasn't until like the second day actually. Okay, so food wise, there were some places around the hotel that you can check out. It was actually there's a secret food place that nobody knew about that I showed my friend Solomon like on day one, and he was tripping. It was like, oh my god, nobody knows about this place, and I will not, I will not tell right now. To keep that secrecy, but one of the things I discovered actually is that initially because of the construction, I thought the sports bar was not going to be not accessible. Like I thought it was like blocked off and we had to find food elsewhere. But apparently, I found out that it was still in the hotel building, but they just moved it like in a different area. And I found it on day two. I was like, oh, this is awesome because like it's not crowded, nobody knows about it, and I able to get my food and get out. So, but yeah, so what was your go-to food places, Jesse?
Um, go-to place. Stat back you fed me, but go-to place would still be the American Grill across the street from the hotel. But did pig out at In-N-Out. That was like a couple blocks away.
Wait, oh, that's
There's a
right,
few
yeah.
Yeah, there are a few donut shops nearby, so that had some fun there too.
Nice, awesome. Wait, there's a donut shop nearby?
Yeah, there's I think called Royal Donuts or something like that. I don't remember.
Why was I not informed of this? I'm kind of mad now. How far was it?
Yeah, I didn't go. My roommates went instead because I had to get back to my staffing duties.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. That's pretty cool. My place is kind of varied from place to place, on each day.
Wish there was some more selections there, though.
Yeah, it's not particularly in the best place per se, and the food, depending where you go, can get pretty expensive. So yeah, definitely. If there was some, if there was like more places around that was cheaper, that'd be great. Cause like, but at the same time, like it's San Francisco airport, so and any chance they'll get to like gouge us, they will.
Yep.
So, what else was I gonna say? What else did I check out? I'm trying to remember. So, the only thing I think left for me to talk about, at least on my end of things, is that out of everything that I experienced, I enjoyed everything that Babscon had offered. The panels, the people that were pretty awesome to hang out with. Checked out the game room for better for worse for what happened there. You know, the dealers hall, the art gallery was great. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of awesome stuff. I was never bored per se. Um, and the cosplays were great too. The one last thing I can think of is that now this is, I believe, the second time in a row. It might have been the third time. I didn't know it the first time maybe, but um, the Babscon. If this is, correct if I'm wrong, if this happens at other Brony conventions or not. Babscon holds one of the best ideas and layouts of how to run parties at night. At
Oh yes.
Yes, yes. For those who don't know, Babscon, for the last 2 years, to my knowledge, would rent out or would use the entire second floor. Well, not the entire second floor, but like half of this, or just a couple rooms. Basically, in the second floor, they'll be dedicated to the party rooms. And in these rooms, there is free booze. Some of them are themed differently, but they are well staffed. They make sure that people drink water. They make sure that everybody's over the age of 21 to drink, and generally look out for each other. And it's it's still rather fun. So yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
I got a particular story about that. Day one, I came down with some awful headache for whatever reason. I can't explain why, but I ended up having to go down to that party level to find my roommates because I actually knocked myself out of my room.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going around talking, going around each of the party halls and, trying to find them. But the thing is, the people who are, making sure people are 18 are getting water and all that, that's a group, well, most of those, especially those that are standing outside, was a group called FLIR. And they are hired on as security with actual professional training. It's more than just security, but for like any emergency response, that's their job. They have the proper professional training to deal with such emergencies.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so they were there kind of enforcing, make sure that the rooms weren't overpacked and the hallways were not cluttered up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I kind of had to deal with that. Dealt with the professionals of that. They're harsh, stern, but they're making sure everyone's safe. So I did have to deal with that. I did have nothing against them because that's their job and they're making it safe for everybody.
Right.
But I did eventually find my rooms. I did get a key and managed to get back up and just, sleep away the headache.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it was like, it was still, I still think like this should be the proper way for any convention, honestly, to if you want to host parties, like, be in front of it and like host it yourself, like have the convention host it and just like, make sure things are well organized. And Babscon did that. And also like for those who don't drink, like, there were yeah, there's actually a few rooms actually, or maybe one or two rooms that like on the first day, like you can go in and hang out, and like there was no alcoholic drinks. There was something like punch and water and whatnot, and you can come and hang out and have the same atmosphere as it would if you were drinking, but like just not drinking alcohol. I know the furry room was hosting that on day one. Also, I think it was with the Klingon room. I think. No, what was it? I can't remember.
that was an interesting room to walk into.
Oh yeah, the Klingon room's one of the best rooms out at Babscon. It was great. It was funny too because like I had a fun time the night before there, and I got money before I went for the second day and gave him like $20 for tip, and like the Klingon guys just like said to me, it's like, wow, you're the first person to come and give us money in the past 6 months and actually promised us, because when people are having fun and like when they're drinking a lot, like they'll say all sorts of stuff. but they never keep a promise. And apparently, it was the first one in 6 months. I was like, oh hey, awesome. And he said, he's like, here, have a drink. It's like, awesome, yes, can do. Which drinks are already free as it is, but it was still pretty awesome. No, it was really cool. Like the party rooms were pretty awesome. I think for me, the room that I felt was I was disappointed. I felt like the hype didn't not meet up with the demand was the R/MOP room, aka the 410 room. Um, and here's the reason why, because I go in there like on day two. I stay there for a bit for a while. And same thing. Serving drinks. Cool people and whatnot. But pony porn happening on TV. Both live action and like the what we'll call it the it's called SDMM, I think it was. Like basically the stuff that you use involves a toolkit to make Team Fortress 2
Oh,
videos.
the SMV.
Yeah. So there were plenty of porns happening. There was a DJ in the corner, which was cool. But like there was all guys, and to something to say like at this Burning convention, like about I'd say like 70-30 guys to the female ratio. So for most of the time, I'm hanging out with everybody. They're all cool, but man, it was a sausage fest like the entire time watching pony porn and drinking. Um, so yeah, I was disappointed in that. I was disappointed in that room. But other than that, though, like it was funny because like our friend Ramen wanted to check it out, and like he was just like tripping on screen. I actually took a picture of him like in front of it.
Oh wow.
It's on my Twitter feed if you guys want to check it out. And there was this one other guy like the entire time I was there, like the quality meme where like the three fingers out in like just the circle motion or that circle thing.
No.
Basically like
Not
the
familiar with
it's basically like I'm trying. Yeah, it's basically like the okay notion for most people. But basically like it's a meme. Apparently, like it means quality. So he was like just doing this one like thing with his hands the entire time. He was watching porn, and just like doing the entire time I was there too. It was like okay. I mean, it was whatever. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was a weird guy. But it was kind of weird to see that. But other than that, though, like every other room was fine. Every other room was awesome. And I had a lot of fun. And I felt this is the right way if you can do parties to adopt this. So, yeah. Overall,
I have no idea how I'm cringing with you talking about pony porn. I am cringing so hard right now. It disturbs me.
right, but at the same time, like
Yeah, it was there. I can't deny it was there.
it was there, but at the same time, like this whole the people that are at this convention are cringeworthy. So if it, I don't say like if there was a cringeworthy con, it would be any bronycon, but just like it's like going to Babscon. It's like you are to expect some cringeworthiness of some sorts at some point during your time there, which is not bad. It's just like it happens. But other than that, though, like I really had a fun time. Everything from top to bottom, I really, really, really enjoyed it. In my opinion, like Babscon, as of right now, out of the conventions I've been to so far, is the best one so far. The anime's coming up, but I'm waiting to see how that goes. And yeah, definitely, I would give my my 2 thumbs up to Babscon. So for you, Jesse, because you were a part of staff, like what was your overall thoughts about Babscon? What were the things that kind of stood out to you? It was like what were the what was the good and bad of it?
Good and bad. It didn't. Good and bad for the most part. It looked like it was ran smoothly. The bad part is I got to see all the bad parts of the, not all the bad parts, but how the logistics were so messed up.
How the sausage were made, pretty much.
The logistics were so messed up, especially with the late entry into the vendor room. But that was kind of a minor thing. But the biggest thing was the registration. apparently there was a logistics problem where they ordered 4 printers to make the badges,
Mm-hmm.
and they only got one.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. But again, now it's like pretty much day one, maybe day two problem, but overall it kind of got done.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, I'll speak on that a little bit actually. But what aside from that though, like overall experience though, you had fun, right?
Oh yeah, totally had fun. I got to talk to a bunch of people friends I made from previous runs at Babscon and Healing. It's nice to talk to them again.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
As for bad, again, I think the energy was just lower than I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only real negative I can say about it.
Right. Right. Um. So, real quickly, go back on that registration thing. One of the things that, and this is another minor gripe I have about Babscon is like, um, registration. It was kind of bottleneck at the with the lines between attendee and press, and like they had like one like they had like two people working on in one particular area that would approve, if you're an attendee or press, they'll give you your badge. um and it was kind of bottlenecked in a sense like um there wasn't a separate line for press, like it was all just kind of converging to one, so it just made the line longer or the wait longer. It's a minor gripe, um, you know, as far as like when it came to registration, but it didn't take too long to get my badge or anything. But I just feel like for future cons when it gets bigger, like, and I do think that BabsCon is gonna get bigger in the future, like they have more different lines,
Oh yeah.
have that figured out. Um, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say one other thing. Oh yeah, one last thing is shout outs to the Aussie, Australian bronies.
They had energy.
Yes.
They kind of made it for me on the last day.
Yes. They I am impressed. They came out in force and they definitely had a good time, and just like I swear, like every other party I was into, all I hear was the Aussie chant like every other time. It was awesome. It was great. So shout outs to those guys, and those guys were awesome. But other than that though, it's hey, overall I think Babscon was a great con. I think that it is a bright future, and I do think that you know I am still wanting to go to other Brony conventions and see how it compares to this. Specifically, I want to go to the biggest one on the East Coast one day. One day.
Me too. But that's across the country.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm gonna attend one day. It's gonna happen eventually. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. So with that being said, Jesse, where can I find you on the internet?
Nowhere. I don't advertise anything now. No, any information you want from me, go talk to Jeremy about that Black Crate, whatever. I don't know. I don't know his email. With the Rolling 20s.
Yeah, definitely. The podcast is hosted on our website at missionstartpodcast.com in the podcast section of our website. Jesse is part of the Rolling 20s, and they are a weekly podcast talking about comic books, entertainment, movies, and all other good stuff in the nerd realm. Also on iTunes and Stitcher. So definitely check them out in that podcast. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Defective Naruto. You can follow the work that me and Jesse do on our website, as I stated before, missionstartpodcast.com. We just got when this podcast is uploaded, all of our Babscon footage would be complete, and make way for more content coverage coming up in terms of Fanime, which is about from this day, less than
2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks from here. Let me check. Today's the 13th, so no, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, exactly. 2 weeks away from happening, and we're gonna be there. We're gonna cover the crap out of it, and we got some awesome stuff coming your way, guys. So definitely keep it locked to our website. And definitely, if you haven't already, please subscribe to iTunes and Stitcher for this podcast as well. If you haven't already, so definitely check it out. With that being said, I am Anthony Bianis. That was Jesse.
I am Jesse.
And this has been another episode of the Conover.